Have you ever been sitting in church and gotten sleepy, kind of worried if you were going to be able to stay awake? Now, I admit it doesn't happen to me a lot because, well, a lot of times I'm preaching, so it's kind of hard to fall asleep when you're up there doing it. But I'm going to tell you about a guy that's my hero. He had worked all night. He was a professional fisherman, and all night they had fished and they hadn't caught a thing. Now, this is not like me going fishing, coming home and telling my wife, hey, I didn't catch anything. We're not going to have fish tonight after all. This is Peter going home to his wife and saying, honey, we didn't catch anything last night. Hold off on shopping for a new camel. Hold off on going to the grocery store. Hold off on because can't buy the new sandals. I didn't make anything last night. And they're sitting on the shore repairing their nets, and Jesus comes along and wants to talk to the people, and so he asks Peter to take him out in his boat. So Peter's out there after having worked all night, and the waves are gently rocking, and the preacher is preaching, and apparently he stays awake. I'm afraid I would have fallen asleep and fallen overboard, but Peter doesn't. Now, I've got to admit, he's listening to Jesus, and, well, to all of my fellow preachers, he's a lot better than we are. But you remember what happened after he preaches to the people? He tells Peter, let's go out for a catch. Not let's go fishing. Let's go get some fish. And Peter says, well, we fished all night and didn't catch anything. It's a real polite way of saying, Jesus, there's no fish there. You ever wondered about the wildly incredible things for Jesus? You ever wondered if you could just say, Jesus, man, let's go convert a bunch of people together. Let's turn this little church loose and let's go out and double. Not because people left where they're unhappy to come here and be more happy, or not left because their church changed, but let's go find non-believers and double our church. Wait, are you kidding me? Man, we've been trying and nobody has, and it. But Peter also says this, but because it's you, we'll let down the nets. I know the things Jesus says. You go back and read through the book of Acts of what happened in the early church, and you're staggered by the explosive growth that I believe could still happen. Amazing things. And Jesus still does amazing things. Alcoholics made sober, sexually immoral people made pure, mean people made sweet. That's the kind of stuff our Jesus does, even when we think it's not possible. So they go out and they put that. You remember what happened? They caught so many fish, the nets are breaking, and they're dumping in the boat, and the boats are sinking, and they're calling their partners out, and boats are so overloaded with fish, they're sinking. And in the middle of all that, Peter falls to his knees in front of Jesus. And he says this to Jesus, get away from me. I am a sinful man. You may be thinking, yeah, well, if I was like Peter, Paul, John, Philip, all those guys and that, boy, I do great things, but I'm just me. If I was Aquila and Priscilla, we'd do these amazing things, but I'm a sinful kind of person. Yeah, so was Peter. And he was overwhelmed by the power of Jesus and said, what does a guy like you want with someone like me? Well, what he wanted you to do is exactly what he told Peter. They went to the shore, and Jesus didn't get away from Peter. He looked at Peter and his partners and said, don't be scared. Follow me, and we're going to catch men. Wow. You know what Jesus says to you? Don't be scared. Follow me, and we'll catch men. You don't have to do it by yourself. But I'm telling you, there are more people looking for more answers, more real life now than maybe in my lifetime. And I'm old, that's a long time. And I pray the church is going to take advantage of that. I pray Christians are going to take advantage of that. You have friends and neighbors, and Jesus is saying to you, for all your sin, you know what? I'm a great Savior who wants you to do great things because you have great forgiveness in your life. As we go out and tell our story of the story of a Jesus who loved us and saved us. So don't be afraid. Follow Jesus, and we're going to go catch some people.